What's going on YouTube and my fellow reefers? I can't believe it's been a year since I set this tank up, and I can't believe it's done so well. And I've had such a blast looking at this tank and enjoying this tank. It's perfect, to be honest. Now this is the RedSea Max Nano Cube. It's a 20-gallon all-in-one system. And it's about $1,000 for everything: stand, tank, light, skimmer, return pump. Pretty amazing, to be honest. It's pretty good value. The seams are amazing. No leaks or anything like that. The corals are doing phenomenal. I have a clam in here as well. It's doing great. A lot of these clams, and the clams are already almost doubled in size. The anemones have been splitting. The other rock flower anemones actually have been spawning. Even the mushrooms are splitting. So we're gonna take a deep dive inside the tank. I'm gonna show you guys what's been going on over there. Since it's basically its birthday, I got it a present. So not only a birthday, but also like a Christmas present. I got it a Reefmat. Yeah, so this tank is actually pretty hands-off. I really don't do anything to this tank. No water changes, no nothing. And I just tested nitrates and phosphates when I think it was yesterday, and nitrates were at 0. I've always had 0 nitrates in this tank. I think all the bacteria and livestock here absorbs those extra nutrients immediately and keep it at 0. And phosphates, I tested, it was 0.03. So really good numbers there, I think. Obviously, I would prefer to have a little bit of nitrates there, but I think it's just like, I think it does have nitrates, but I think like as nitrates develop, everything consumes it. Yeah, because honestly, I'll be honest with you, I have no issues in this tank at all. Now, I did have cyano. I did go into some cyanobacteria and some dinoflagellates really early on. I think within the first 3 months. For cyano, I did the chemical treatment, and I do have a video on that. And I did a Dino X treatment, which I don't have a video on that, but I did treat the tank with Dino X. Seeing as Dino X is pretty much reef safe except for SPS corals. So yeah, I went ahead and dosed some Dino X, make sure not to overdose, and it got rid of the dinoflagellates. So let's go ahead now, take a look at the tank. We're gonna unbox this Reefmat, put it together, and insert it. So before we get into it, I will put in the description all my Max Nano Cube videos that I have done throughout the year of 2025. So I'm gonna go ahead and post them down in the description so you guys can go ahead and check it out. Actually, the setup video on this one is actually one of the most popular ones that I have on the channel, and I have really good feedback from it. So yeah, make sure to check it out if you guys haven't. So now let's get into it. So where do I start? One thing I will say about this tank, and it being an anemone tank and kind of like letting the anemones do their own thing. Even the clam moves around, and so do the mushrooms. Everything here in this tank kind of moves around. So like the cool thing about that is that I like keeping all the glass clean on all sides, because from whichever angle you look at the tank, it's going to be such a different dynamic or perspective. I got the Yuma there. These rock flower anemones I picked up from Reefapalooza are doing phenomenal. From this side angle, then you can see all the anemones here. They like this side. It probably is because it has a little bit more par. So they do like that right-hand side of the tank, or rock work, I would say. But as they keep growing, I'm sure they will spread out all throughout that little corner there. I kind of want this tank to get really nice and filled in with anemones, so probably take a little bit more time. And here is the clam. This clam has gotten actually pretty big. You can see even these clams are pretty cool because you can see like the growth. So you see that really thick dark line? That's how I got it. So it's almost doubled in size. And just like corals, they have like a little white growth tip on it. But that right there is originally the size of it. So it's pretty cool to see it grow. And the acants are coloring up really nice. They're really nice and fluffy, doing phenomenal. These mushrooms too have kind of split up real nice, the anemones. So really awesome tank. No complaints. It's really nice and enjoyable. And it's kind of relaxing because like everything is so clean too. Like the sand bed is crystal clear. The rock has basically 0 algae besides the coralline that's starting to like, the only thing is this lettuce algae that's growing back there, but it really doesn't bother me because that just provides a good source for copepods. And it's a macroalgae, so it helps with keeping water parameters nice and stable. It's not really like in here, so like I can't really see it that much besides it being in the background, but it really doesn't bother me. I'm not gonna scrape it off or anything. It provides good home for copepods and nice food source for the hermit crabs and stuff like that, because they will occasionally go up there and start nibbling at that lettuce algae. Everything eats lettuce algae pretty much, and that's a pretty good macroalgae, so I'm not gonna mess with it. Alrighty, here's a look at the tank with no filter. I usually I put an orange filter in the so it usually gets a lot of glare, but this is it without the filter. Now, doesn't it have a nice shimmer, right? That's because I do have a Kessel. I did have one complaint about this tank, and it was like the RedSea LED 50 that it came with. I don't think it provided enough power. So I did add a second light, and it's a Kessel A80 tuna. So I used to use that light for macroalgae for refugium. So it was just sitting in a drawer, and I just installed it. Yeah, it provides this awesome looking shimmer. And I can also like dial it in. Like I can just like, there's a knob that I can turn here, and you can see I can put it all blue like that. And if I don't want to use a filter or anything like that, I can just go ahead and turn it white. Just for the video and everything. I usually do keep it like this for the most part. Man, everything looks so good in this tank. So for livestock, I keep a pair of lightning maroons. There's the male, and here's the female. Now they're gold lightning, so they have as they get older, they start getting that gold color more and more. But they are just, I mean, look how happy they are. They just graze the anemones all day long. They get along really well. And then of course I have the Mandarin Goby Dragonette. He eats flake foods, pellet foods, frozen foods. He eats everything. He is an ORA. He's aquacultured basically. And then we have a possum wrasse that is very shy. This Yuma here is splitting too. There's one back there behind that little hermit crab. Really hard to see, it's in the crevice, but you can see it sticking its sweepers out. Oh, and here's the possum wrasse. But yeah, I like the Max Nano Cube so much that it inspired me to get another all-in-one system. In this case, it would be the Max Nano XXL. And this tank is phenomenal, honestly. I love these all-in-one systems. But future updates on this tank, it's still fairly new. It's only like 3-4 months old. I will be going to Reefapalooza this upcoming year again. This time with a different goal. Last year's goal was to, or basically last year at that point, was to get rock flower anemones and corals for my Max Nano Cube. I'll also post a link down in the description for the Reefapalooza one. And yeah, for this year, we're gonna go to Reefapalooza again in Orlando, Florida, and we're gonna go ahead and pick up corals specifically for this all-in-one XXL. So yeah, I can't believe it's already gonna be 4 months from now. That time's going pretty fast. Here we have the Reefmat, and came with a QR code for the manual. Now I have one of these Reefmats in my XXL, so I have already done this once, but the instructions are pretty much there in the manual. So they're pretty straightforward. So we're gonna still use that because it's been a while since I put this. Last time I put this on. It does come with one roll, which is nice. Now you can buy, RedSea sells them by a 2-pack, and they're like $20, $20 to $21, basically 20 bucks. All right, so here's that. Here's the basket. Here's where you put the roller in. So this should actually go like that. That's done. That's pretty easy. This is where you tread the roll. And then we have 1, 2, 3 boxes. And that's pretty much it. 3 boxes and then 2 parts and the roll. Very simple, very easy. Let's see what we have inside one of these boxes. So there we go. Power supply on the one box. We have the adapters. So this Nanomat does, you can put it into other all-in-one tanks. And this is the adapter for it. I think we'll be using just this, but if you have something that could be compatible to it, you can use this as well. And then over here we have the turning gear motor thing. This is what turns the Reefmat, and it comes with the sensor. I decided to get these things because this time of year, because not only as a Christmas present for the tank and as a celebration for its first year, but also you gotta take advantage of the Christmas and Black Friday sales. So RedSea had a 12% off, and by the way, they have a 15% off for all new RedSea G2 tanks. Alrighty, so the first thing is first, I'm gonna look at the manual here, the card, and the first thing is you take this part, then you take this part right here, and then it clicks. It's pretty simple, to be honest. Wow, that was a click. So the sensor has a little thing here, and then you just basically go in there and push it in. Now this sensor is very similar to the other mats and the ATO, where it has the little titanium bars, and then it goes in the second compartment. Now that we have the roll here installed, now you take this roll, right under there, just like that. Now if you want, this is what I do sometimes, I have a little bit of tape on the side, that way it doesn't undo the whole thing. You can put a little bit of tape, and there it is, like that, and there you have it. So let's go ahead and put it in the tank. We'll put this to the side, and this comes out. This comes out real nice, so you can like scrub it, clean it, do anything you want with it. There it goes. Alrighty, now we go ahead and insert the Reefmat, like so. And there it is, installed nice and sleek. Turns just fine. I already tested it. I was so confused. It took me a little bit because I was like, there's no way this is this simple. It really is. You take the sponge out, you take the filter sock out, you take the little piece where it holds the filter sock, then you literally slip this in, and then you put back the little grade thing, and then you're basically done. It raised the water very, very like a little bit, obviously, because you're putting in this whole bulky thing in there versus the filter sock. So it does raise the water just a tiny bit, but it's not by much. So yeah, I think that's it. That's so simple. Alrighty, and just like that, I think that's it. Simple install, little update on the tank, kind of showed you guys, you know, what's been going on. I have no other plans of adding anything to this tank. I'm just waiting for the anemones to keep splitting, but who knows, maybe in the Reefapalooza show this year, or next year in this case, I could just go ahead and get like maybe a little bit more anemones, so we can really jam pack this tank. But we do gotta keep in mind that they will split, and they will split pretty quickly once they get really, really settled and happy. So that's something we gotta consider and think about. But anyways, with that being said, have a Merry Christmas, and I will catch you guys on the next one. See you guys.